I'll never forget the first time I met a millionaire, y'all. Let me tell y'all this story. Story time. The first time I met a millionaire. Okay, let me tell you how this went. About 10 years ago, I used to be a nursing assistant, and I was working at this women's facility, and I was taking care of this woman. She was dealing with some health issues, and I was nursing her. I was feeding her. I was, making up her bed for her. I was doing everything that a medical assistant would do, aka a patient care assistant or a nursing assistant. Y'all, I was a CNA for about 12 years. I finally decided to walk away because I was like, listen, I love the people, but I don't love the money. This is not enough to feed my family. This is not enough to take care of my son. I was working 2 jobs, y'all, 18 hours a day. I'm going to let that sink in for some of y'all. I was a single mother for a season, working 2 jobs, 18 hours a day. It's only 24 hours a day. Y'all figure that out. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do in order to pull you out. But anyway, let's fast forward. So I got married. I had a daughter. I had my son. I was working at this women's facility, and I was getting ready to go. And something said, go check on that lady one more time before you clock out. Because I had to go down to elevator, had to go down here to blah, 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 to the basement, whatever, to clock out. I said, hey, I was just checking on you one last time to make sure you are okay. Do you need anything before I leave? She said, no. She said, but I just want to say thank you. Actually, y'all, it was my last day working there. I was actually leaving the job. And something said, go check on this woman one last time. I said, well, I'm not going to be taking care of you anymore. And this is actually my last day. But do you need anything before I go? She said, no. She said, I just wanted to say thank you for taking care of me, y'all. She was an older white woman, maybe in her early 50s, late 50s. And she said, this has been some of the best care I have ever received. And I just want to say thank you for taking care of me. She said, where do you live? I said, okay, I live in Walls, Mississippi. She said, I live in Walls, Mississippi. Uh-oh, it's a God thing. This is not a coincidence, baby. Because this was a season of my life where I really didn't have that many dreams. I was just floating through life. I became a CNA because my auntie said, ooh, it's a great career for you to make some money. I was doing what somebody else told me to do. I was settling. So she said, where do you live? I said, I live in Walls, Mississippi. She said, oh my goodness, I live in Walls, Mississippi. Now, I had been taking care of this woman off and on. She had been in and out of our facility for maybe like 2 months. She said, I live in Walls, Mississippi. She said, here, get my number. And she said, text me and call me. So the next day, I thought it was weird. I was like, I'm finna text this woman. So I texted, I said, hey, this is Bree from, the hospital, the women's center. And I was just calling to check on you to see how you was doing. She said, I'm doing great. I'm back at home. She said, are you interested in theater? I know you got kids. Do they like plays and stuff like that? I said, yeah, I'm sure they do. She said, I want to give you some tickets to come down to the theater. Uh-oh, y'all better hear this. So the lady gave me tickets to come down to the theater, and me and my kids, we were exposed to something new. Uh-oh, that's the first sign, y'all. It was exposure. Come on, little black country girl ain't never went to a play, ain't been thinking about no theater, wasn't thinking about no theater. I exposed my children to something new, and they got there and they saw the plays and they was so excited, and they was like, we want to do that too. So then she said, anytime you want to come to a play and bring your children, let me know. I'll give you some free tickets. And I was just like, okay, this chick, she got a plug or something. Well, y'all, come to find out, she owned the theater. Her and her husband owned the theater. And I was like, wow. I said, okay. About 2 weeks later, my grandmama died. She sent her housekeeper with dishes of food. Didn't even know me, y'all. She said, well, I know y'all gonna be having like, a little family gathering. So I'm gonna bring y'all some food. I'm gonna have my housekeeper bring y'all some food. My cook to bring y'all some food. Baby, the lady dropped off pans of food, drinks and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, thank you. This woman don't even know me. A white woman. So then anytime we wanted to go to the plays, we had free tickets. So then I said, hold up, I need to Google and research. Who is this woman? So I realized her and her husband owned one of the largest insurance companies in Memphis, Tennessee. I said, wow. Okay, God, I see you. 3 months later, 3 or 4 months later, 2 weeks later, hold up, I'm fast forward. Let me go back. 2 weeks later, she invited me to church. She invited me to her church. And so I came. And that day changed my life because I had a reintroduction to Jesus. I had got baptized at 16, but I didn't really know Jesus. And she invited me to this church, predominantly all white church. And I was like, I like it here. This is different. And I rededicated my life to Christ. And I was like, this is what I need in this season. Now, God had me planted in that church and under that ministry for a season. About 3 months later, after her inviting me to church, she passed away. Her husband invited me to the funeral. I went to the funeral. 3 days after the funeral, I get a text message from her husband. And he said, I want to invite you and your family to the house. We're having something, in memory of my wife. There's going to be tractor hay rides. It's going to be a fun experience. I want to invite you and your family to the house. And I told my husband, I said, he want to invite me to the house. Y'all, we driving down this long, dark back road. It's the middle of the night. You make a left, you make a right, you go down this curvy. Thank God for GPS, baby, because we would have got lost. And the GPS said, turn right. We looking like, I don't see no damn right. Well, there was this little mailbox on this 2-lane dark road on the right. And y'all, we pulled into the gate. I ain't lying to y'all. The driveway had to be about 2 miles long. And we driving down the driveway. And then all of a sudden we come over a hill. Y'all, we saw a house that looked like the White House. And I bullshit you not. I said, oh my God, that's a mansion. And the kids were so excited. They said, Mama, that's a mansion. Baby, it sure is. And me and my husband was like, wow. And so y'all, we went in. And the husband greeted us and he said, I just want to say thank you so much for taking care of my wife. She talked about you and I just wanted to say I appreciate you and everything that you did for her when she was going through her season. And I just wanted to say thank you. He said, make yourself at home. Walk around. You don't tell black folks to walk around because, baby, we going to walk around. You heard me? So, y'all, I was like, all right, so I'm in this mansion, beautiful kitchen, nice little seating room outside the kitchen. They in the kitchen making cupcakes, brownies, s'mores. They talking. They got the hors d'oeuvres. They got everything. And I bullcrap you not. We was the only African-American family in the room. There was another boy in there. He was mixed, so I don't count him. My blackness overrided his mixed. We were the only African-American family in the house. So y'all, then I said, let's walk around. So I was like, let's go straight. It's like we at a museum. We taking a tour. And my husband like, you so funny, baby. No, baby. He said, let's walk around, baby. We need to get a look at this. See, God knew it was a setup, baby. Y'all, we walked straight down. I saw a room that just looked interesting. I said, I want to know what's back there in that room. Y'all, I walked in that room and I bust a right. And it was a damn fish tank. Looked like it was at the zoo. Y'all gotta hear me. It was a fish so big in this room. Wasn't nothing in this room but 2 chairs. It was the biggest fish I ever did see. I looked at there. I said, God damn, this looked like the kids were so happy. They was like, Mama, look at that fish. I ain't lying to y'all. It looked like something that belonged at the aquarium. It was about 10 fish in this tank, but it was one of the biggest fish I had ever seen. And so then the husband, baby, listen, when black people surprised, we probably was so loud and the kids were saying, wow, he knew he had to come explain what was going on. So he came into the room and he said, y'all like that fish? They said, yes, sir. Whoa, it's so big. And he said, this is a such and such and such and such. I caught that fish. And they was like, oh, wow. They said, oh, it's so much water in there. And he was like, yeah. He said, y'all want to see how it worked? Baby, he opened up this door that didn't even look like a door. And he took the kids behind the scenes of the fish tank with all these pumps and all the mechanisms that was running this thing that looked like a big piece of artwork that looked like it should have belonged in a museum. Baby, my kids talked about that for months. It was an experience. So then I left the kids, baby. I just left them down there. So I went walking, y'all. I went upstairs. I saw, baby, y'all know them beautiful staircases. I went upstairs and I saw like 4 or 5 bedrooms. And I was up there. Some other white woman was up there. She was like, "Oh, come on. You want to see the twins? You want to see the girls' bedrooms?" Because I remember the lady had twins. And she lost her twins in a train wreck, and it made national news. They was coming back from the American Girl doll store, and she had lost her twins. And she's like, "You want to see that room? It's beautiful." And it was just this beautiful country style decor. Looked like some Martha Stewart had did in that room, but it was beautiful. And I was like, wow, that was beautiful. And this other the white lady was just showing me different rooms and different stuff. She said, that's their bedroom. That's, the lady of the house and the man of the house bedroom. We not going to go in there. We going to respect it. Okay. I get it. But y'all, I was sitting up here and I was touring this mansion. And I remember I said, God, I want a house like this. This is my definition of my dream. This is something that I desire. And y'all, when somebody expose you to something like that, you hold on to that. And see, this is a season where you're gonna connect to somebody that you don't even know. And they're gonna invite you somewhere. Because you never know who these people are. And I got to sit in this beautiful mansion on this beautiful property with baby acres. It had to be like 100 acres. Beautiful property. And I got to experience something that I had never experienced before. And I just want to say thank you to this woman. I know she has already transitioned to Miss Cindy Lipscomb and her husband Matt Lipscomb, because they changed my life. And all I was doing, y'all, I was serving. I was walking in my gift. Let me tell you something. When you serving and you walking in your gift, you never know who God will connect you to. That woman exposed me to plays. She exposed me to art and theater. Now that's something that I'm going into business for. I want to own that type of business. She reintroduced me to Jesus. That's why I am where I am today, because of my faith. Because that woman loved on me like I had never been loved on before. A white woman. I was serving. I was taking care of her. I was honoring her. I was giving her the best care possible. That's just what I did as a CNA. And she said, "Give me your phone number." And I never would have thought that it would happen so fast. But God knew. It was all a part of God's plans. Because he needed me to run back to him. He needed me to see the real him. He needed me to really understand who Jesus was and the power of God. He needed me to really see what a true Christian love was like. This woman loved on me like never before. And she opened up my mind and she enlightened me in a way that I had never been enlightened. Now, the only sad part that I didn't like is that the invitation to her home was after her death. But I'll never forget that moment. I'll never forget that memory. And I am thankful for that. And this is what I want y'all to know. You never know who's watching you. You never know who you serving. You never know who you feeding. You never know who your customers are. So at all times, you want to be your best. You want to give your best. Because you never know who God will send into your life. That was the first millionaire that God connected me with. A Christian millionaire. A kingdom millionaire. And this white woman loved on me like my mom and daddy never loved on me. This white woman loved on me like my grandmama never loved on me. This white woman showed me something that I had never seen, and it was a real love. And then to get invited to the mansion, to get invited to the beautiful property. My life forever changed after that day. So this is what I want to tell you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep serving. Keep giving. Some of y'all better put them cell phones down when y'all are out there on your job, because you never know who you serving. You never know who's watching you. You never know who God will send to bless you, that will invite you to something, that will give you a ticket to something, that will expose you to something. You will look up and you'll be sitting in the millionaire house. as a guest. And guess what that'll do? That experience, it will shift you to your next. The Bernetta Madison you see today is because of Cindy Lipscomb. The Bernetta Madison you see today is because of Cindy Lipscomb. The Bernetta Madison that you see today is because of Matt Lipscomb. I mean, these folks invited us to dinner. We used to go out to eat with them. They used to pay for everything. The Bernetta Madison you see today is because of Cindy Lipscomb and how she loved on me in a way that I had never been loved on. So when y'all see me up here today and I'm talking about kingdom, I'm talking about walking, talking, speaking, and moving a different way. This is what kingdom is supposed to be like unconditional love. Two people from the opposite sides of the track. Two people with different perspectives, with different dreams and different goals. Whoo, baby, this is what it's supposed to be like in the kingdom. And some of y'all so nasty, you so rude, you so religious, you so traditional, you such a hypocrite. You know all the scripture, you know all the Bible verses, but you ain't living it. And you have the audacity to crucify somebody else. God said, come as you are. And that's exactly what I did. I came as I was. I was still smoking weed. I was still drinking. I was still chilling. I was dealing with anxiety and depression. But that moment changed my life. And the woman you see today, it's because of the woman that God sent into my life. So you never